Convention and Event Bureau are our main supporter of our event, and they wish you all the best on of the lanes here at the Swedish Riviera. Remember to let your fans, family, and friends know that they can follow every game for free on our YouTube channel. The main sponsor of the SLM is Storm Bowling Products, the bowlers company in Baltic, Sweden. Thanks to them and the PBA, you can vote for a PBA title here in Sweden. Please support them and visit Olympia Pro Shop to get your new Storm Bowling. Olympia Bowling is a top-class facility equipped with modern products, great tasting food, and the best food. They, of course, support SLM together with our new partners like Low, Card, and our longtime partners, Classic Bowl, Lane Card, and the Swedish Bowling Federation. By now, all the guys behind all the they are back to let the world know about your performance. Turbo
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, whole planet of world. Here we are again. Uh, what day is today? I don't even know what day is today anymore. Thursday morning, early squad. 16 squad at the moment. They started bowling 9 a.m. in the morning. And let me tell you, last night it was quite a blast here at the Olympia Bowling Alley. I saw a lot of people having a lot of fun. And if it was a little bit difficult already with this pattern, I'm expecting this morning is going to be a little bit more difficult than usual. Uh, the show went pretty funny. It was quite an evening here at Olympia Bowling Alley with a lot of PBA bowlers having some fun with the amateurs. We had an amazing buffet last night. The food was unbelievable good. And after that, we had, they call it the Iceman Eliminator. We have some announcements as well. Jesper Spencer's going to join the team of Martin Larsen and Daniel and Patrick Bakke. So he's gonna help this event grow even bigger than it is at the moment. And what happened last night, to make the story short, it was similar to Pro-Am. It was the PBA guys bowling with the amateurs. The amateurs bowled a couple of games. Top 16 advanced to the next round. And they bowled one more game. Top 8 advanced to the PBA bowlers round. So these 8 bowlers were paired with 8 PBA guys. Now let me remember, I think it was Sean Rush, Jesper Svensson, Martin Larsen, AJ Johnson, Dominic Barrett, um, Kyle Trupp, Andrew Anderson, and Frankie Lebois. Actually, there was quite high scoring. Obviously, they didn't use the same pattern that we are bowling on during the PBA Storm Lucky Larsen's Masters. It was a little bit more of a house shot. So it was a lot of strikes. Actually, in the final, they shot 540 something in 2 games on Baker format. And they had a lot of fun. After that, kind of charity event went on because it was contributing against the fight against cancer. After that, the real party started. We had loud music in the bowling alley, and everybody started bowling with no lights. You could see all the PBA guys bowling without shoes, bowling on their socks, sharing lanes with the amateurs, and they were using 2 hands, 1 hand, left hand, right hand, under the legs, and it was quite a funny night. So now back to the action. Let's see where we are going. We have Ryan Stone. He says, "Go Eric Jones. Show us Eric Jones." Well, Ryan, Eric, you have him on lane 15 and 16. So if you're not on that camera, you can find the channel at somewhere else. Uh, as I said, he's bowling on 15 and 16. He's got spare, strike, spare, and a full bagger, so he started pretty well. On that same pair is having Anton Andersson, as a Swedish bowler. He really can bowl. Ernesto Reynoso is also in there. If you look at that same camera, also you have Dominic Barrett on lane 13 and 14. And let's see who else is talking. We have why is Pontus Andersson not bowling? Well, Pontus qualified directly to the final due that he won one of the PBA regional events in Sweden. That one of the prizes was to qualify directly into the step 1. And Pontus is gonna bowl tomorrow. He was here yesterday in the bowling alley with 13 of the young Team Sweden guys. No, not really Team Sweden, sorry. School bowling in Nässjö. And Pontus was here a little bit more as a coach yesterday than as a bowler. He was talking a little bit with us also on the streaming. And he will be back on Friday, so tomorrow he's gonna bowl. I'm not sure what squad is he gonna bowl, but if you check on the Lucky Larsen Masters webpage, you can search by squads. You can search by bowlers. You can find out what time is your favorite bowler gonna play and which squads they have booked. Now, back to the action. Usually games 1 and 2, they are quite high scoring. We see some strikes going on in quite a few lanes, but just before I came in, I was watching the warm-up outside live. It's easy to see what bowlers are using and what areas they are trying to bowl on the lanes on. And it's a few bowlers who are actually bowling their first squad. There was a couple of them I saw throwing quite a dull urethane ball, which is not going to help them, and certainly is not going to really help the others either when they get into that pair of lanes. We have been explaining during the week that the pattern is 44 feet and 29 point something milliliters, but the biggest amount of the oil is just up to 25 feet. From there is just an extension of the brush, but it's not really putting any extra oil on the lane. So we could say that the biggest amount of oil is at the heads, and then the middle lane becomes dry quite quickly. That has been so far the biggest issue for bowlers, to try to control that strong reaction in the middle lane. And the lanes are changing quite drastically. The movements you have to do, it's quite aggressive ones. So let's see. Lane 19 and 20, we have, wow, that's going to be hard to say. Good Laugur Bayerson, 235. Dominic Barrett, 247. That's a pretty good game to begin with. Then let's see who else is striking. Eric Jones just made an open frame, but he had a full bagger right before that. Andre, the Czech Republic guy, is also on the lanes now in 5 and 6. He took a big rest yesterday. He said he went to Copenhagen and do a little bit of tourism with some friends, so he took the day off, and today is back on the lanes, trying to get his spot into the final. Mathis Blanchette, the bowler from Canada, started with the front 6, then an open frame, but a double right after. So if he strikes out, it's going to be on the 260s. He could be the leader at the moment in this particular squad. We see some striking. We see some people struggling a little bit as well. So you forgot Diaz already went into the final. No problem at all. That's the reason why we are here. Try to answer all your questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'll surely try to get one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being over there. It's at the moment 9:24 in the morning here in Sweden. People is watching from other countries. It might be a different time. So if you're going to bed, we hope you stay with us a little bit longer. If you're just waking up, we wish you a very happy day. And before I forget, just in case he's watching, god morgon Lennart, hoppas allt är bra. And morgon allihopa. Just saying hello to the Swedish people and Swedish friends I have out here. And now back to the action. We're going to see what Eric can do. He's got a strike on the 9th frame, so he could strike out for a 235. It would be a good beginning as well. We have Nora. She's also bowling one more squad. Not so good on the first game. She had a couple of splits after doubles, and then one 7 miss, so she shot 178. Another big talented bowler is in 17 and 18. It's Carl Eklund, but he's gonna bowl at 160. Carl is having some issues on trying to find what to do on fresh. He seems to be a little bit more comfortable actually when the lanes become harder for the other ones. But eventually he should find a way to overcome those issues and produce a high scoring squad. Now Ernesto Reynoso, After a double, he get a split spare, but a triple also, same situation as Eric Jones. They are both on 15 and 16. If they strike out, they're gonna bowl for 235, which could be quite okay for beginning. On the senior, we have Martin Paulson giving it another try on lane 3 and 4. He shot 221. That's a good beginning. Justin Knowles is also bowling now on 7 and 8. He needs one more strike. He made the 10th. One more to go for a 230 game. And clearly we can see that some people has found what to do on fresh, while others are struggling. It's not many games in between, not low 200s. I only see a couple of 190s. So it's either 230, 240 to 180, 170, 160. The lanes are not that easy. Okay, we see Panda says 2 a.m. here in USA. Wow, that's pretty late over there. Or either you go into bed quite late, or you woke up a little bit too early, perhaps. But thanks for watching. It's a pleasure to have people following us and following the action. Let's see. Yeah, 17 and 18 seems to be a hard pair again. Carl Lakeland 160, Caroline 140, Robin Persson 190, Essi Pakarinen, I guess that's from Finland, 169. Not the easiest. On lane 3 and 4 we have a very good Italian bowler, Antonio Fiorentino. He won the World Championships in teams events. I don't remember how many years ago, but Team Italy performed pretty well. They have a bunch of quite good bowlers. Antonio bowls two hands. He does it quite good. He's got a good technique, very long arms, and yeah. Trevor Roberts also bowling in 7 and 8, just missed a single pin for a 190 game. The body language wasn't the happiest. It's crazy that so early in the morning they are upset. The leader of the event, it's Ethan Fury. He's also on the lanes. He's bowling in lane 11 at the moment. He's gonna make 207. So it's a survival game, just to be able to carry on. And if I'm a little bit quiet, it's because I'm trying to find where the mouse is at the moment so I can refresh the scores. Give me a second. I was trying to move the wrong one. Yes, now it makes more sense. Okay, I'm going to give you an update on how things are looking now. Top 25 overall. It's Zacharias Lindquist with 1285. The overall leader of the tournament, still Ethan Fury with 1379. Hakim Toon from Malaysia is on second place with 1375. Ryan Barnes, third with 1374. Sean Rush, 1367. Dario Stein from Germany has got 1366. Nate from the United States, 1363. Nate was so far the only one that achieved to score that high by going quite strong in the hand and quite firm shooting. Everyone else has managed to bowl a lot smoother, a little bit more relaxed wrist position. trying not to force the ball to produce the things, just a little bit more of letting the ball slide down the lane. And then we have Kevin Mellin from Sweden, 1353 on 7th place. William Svensson, Team Sweden, 1352. Noel Haglund Torgersen, son of Linda Haglund and Tori Torgersen, is on 1327 on the 9th position at the moment. Andrew Anderson, 1321 on the 10th spot. Then we have James Blomgren, the powerful former world champ from Sweden, lefty, 1317. Then we find the Iceland man, Arnar Jonsson, 1314. A couple of more Swedes, Anton Agrin and Marcus Johnson with 1312 and 1301. Then we find Francois Lebois, 1300. 16th spot is for Anders Johansson, 1297. Then we find the English guy, Dan Harding, 1297 as well. Jesper Agebo, 1296 from Denmark. Emmanuel Jonsson from Sweden, 1295, is sitting on the 19th place. Moritz from Germany, 1292. Chase Nadeau, 1292. Then we find Anto Persson with 1287. Peter Hellström, 1286. Andre, the Czech Republic guy, 1286. And as I said, top 25, it's at the moment Zacharias Lindquist with 1285. Cat at the moment is a plus 47, but it's quite a few bowlers to go, quite a few squats to go, so it's obviously going to keep going up. Early birds at the moment would be Simon with 1245, Victor Backe 1241, Robert Lindberg 1240, and Victor Albin with 1235. For the seniors at the moment it would be Martin Paulson with 1229 and Pete Lung with 1149. Then if we check on the under 21 kids, we have Carl Eklund with 1230 and Ocean Kinari. I think Ocean is Carl's brother, isn't it?
No,
it's another Ocean. Yeah, and 1222. Then on the girls division, we have a tie between Emma Haltunen and Nora Johansson, both of them with 1227. And when we go to the Turbo Series, I remind you, on Game 5 and Game 6, if you make a very high game, it could get you a bye into the final as well. At the moment, it's Kyle Trupp with 267 on the 5th game, and Hampus Carlson with 267 on the 6th game. Now let's see if we can find the results of the current squad. Now that I have Daniel here, he's going to help me find out. Where do I have to go, Daniel? I forgot already to get this squad.
Oh, no, go down. I'm doing it now.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it should be like here at some point. Okay, lovely. So, I'm gonna look back at the cameras and scores at the moment to let you know if I see someone is a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Still a lot of good bowlers on the lanes. I mean, we have Dominic Barrett, we have Gary Haynes, we have Matthias Blanchett, we have Carl Eklund, we have Ethan Fiore, we have Antonio Fiorentino. There's quite many people. Okay, Bernie, you're asking what is the format? How many game squats do they bowl? How many make the cut? Okay, they bowl as many squats as they want. They have re-entries. The format is six games qualifying round. Hold on a second. I'm gonna give you a better resume. Top 25, they qualify directly into step 2 in the final. From 26 to 40, they go to final step 1, which is also going to include the PBA regional winners. There was 3 events of the PBA regional Sweden up here, and the 3 players who won that event, they have also a bye into the final step 1. Then we have One, two, three, four bowlers who are gonna go in from the early birds. That's the beginning of the week, the earlier on the week squads. A couple of over 50, so a couple of seniors, a couple of under 21. Then we have two women and two guys from the from the turbo. Once in the final, let me read it because it's a lot of things happening. Final step one. It's going to be 30 bowlers are playing 6 games starting from scratch, and top 15 are qualified for final step 2. So on the final step 2, it's going to be 40 bowlers who are going to bowl 6 games again starting from scratch, and top 16 is going to qualify for step 3. Those who don't qualify, they will be ranked from 17 to 36 according to their position on this step number 2. Step number 3 is going to be the top 16 bowlers. They're going to bowl a 3-game total score match. So it's a little bit of a round robin in a way. No?
Brackets.
Brackets. Okay. So it's going to be brackets. Their bowl, as I said, a 1-3-game total score match. Now I see it here. Match number 1 is position number 1 against position number 16, number 2 against 15, number 3 against 14, and so on. The winners are qualified for the final step number 4, which is going to be sometime around 4:30 on Sunday. That's going to be the winners from step 3 who are going to bowl again a 1-3-game total score match. So it's going to be number 1 against number 8, number 2 against number 7, number 3 against number 6, number 4 against number 5. And the winners will advance to the semi-finals. Semi-finals supposed to start sometime around 7:30 on Sunday, 7:30 p.m. obviously. It's going to be semi-final number 1, so it's going to be the winner of match 9 versus the winner of match 12. And the second semi-final, it's going to be the winner of match 10 against the winner of match 11. Losers are ranked on number 3, and then the final match. The winners from the semi-finals are playing a 1-game total score match. And if the winner is a member of the PBA, a PBA National Tour title will be awarded to him. Otherwise, he's just going to win the event, but he's not going to get a PBA title. I guess that pretty much solves your question. And if you guys have any other questions, just feel free to ask. I'll do my best to give you the best answers. Now, back to basics. Now, I'm saying back to results. Let's see if that wants to work. Squad 16, Thursday, 28th of August, 9 in the morning. That is the one. Okay. After one game, Mathis Blanchette from Canada is leading with 249. Dominic Barrett is on second position with 247. Then we have, I need to learn how to pronounce this name. It's not easy. Swedish guy, Gudlaugur Börjesson, 235. Then we find Martin Paulson to 21, Justin Knowles, 220, Anton Anderson, 220, Ilan Lambert from France, 220, David Giantomasi from Italy, 216. Eric Jones, 9th place with 215. Mika Mares from Czech Republic, 213. Michael Gottfried from Sweden, 209. Melania Rossi from Italy. This is the first girl we see in the squad today up there, 208. Right below is Ethan Fury with 207. Emma, 203. Then we find Ernesto with 202. And the last bowler who managed to survive the par, it's Jakub from Czech Republic on 200 games. So we have 16 bowlers already. who are bowling at least par. And second game, we should still see a little bit of high scoring. And then when we get to games 3 and 4, it's when transition's going to hit strong, and things are going to get a little bit more complicated than they were before. We have a guest already with us, former Team Sweden and still bowling Team Sweden, Mr. William Svensson. Welcome, buddy. Nice to see you here.
Hello, nice to be here.
It's good that we keep having some real good bowlers like yourself joining us, because it's always easy to do some commentary when I'm sitting down here in a chair. For me, it's easy to see, oh, he's doing this wrong, he's doing this right. But it's a very different history when you are on the lanes and you are facing this pattern. Let us know a little bit how you felt when you bowled. You bowled 2 or 3 squats? 3 squats, I think?
I bowled 4 squats.
4 squats?
Yeah. But I agree with you. It's easy to watch behind and feel like it doesn't look that hard, but yeah, the lanes are pretty tricky. I've had two good squads and yeah, one really bad one and then one that was okay. So yeah, the lanes are tricky. When you switch from pair to pair, it's different depending on what the other
What they
guys
did
have.
before, right?
Yeah, true.
This is one of those events where you really are praying that I hope the people are not damaging the lane so much, or when I get there, still playful. Otherwise, it's going to be a surviving mode and trying to stay alive for as long as you can. And do you agree with me that it usually becomes very tricky on games 3 and 4?
Yeah, I feel like something happens after game two. The scores have been pretty high the first 2 games, almost every squad, and then it
Hmm.
goes down game 3 and 4. Some people manages to find a solution.
And come back a little bit on 5 and 6,
Yeah,
right? What do you think it's the main reason from sitting down here in the sofa, as I call it? It seems to me like many bowlers are trying to, nowadays it's urethane is so popular. Everybody's getting used to give a lot of surface to the ball and just keep moving left and sending the ball harder. But obviously urethane is not working in these conditions. You have the break point so much deeper than when you usually would like to have any urethane ball. It's going to become a little bit weak. And on the other hand, it's 29 milliliters, but all the oil is pretty much at 25 feet. After that, it's just brushing. So
yeah,
if you grab something that reads so early, it's not going to help you at all. And the other thing I've seen, it's quite a big amount of people using perhaps too strong cover stock balls, and especially too big cores.
yeah,
So they have a very low RG, high differential, and those balls are reading so early that they don't manage to, especially the middle lane.
yeah. To
It
get it
feels like
through the front.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So then they try to force it so much, and the only one I have seen succeed doing that at the moment was Nate. Nate
yeah,
really managed to survive that, but he was like so consistent.
yeah,
But everyone else that I see has bowled up there, or probably including yourself, it was a little bit more of a weaker shot than usual, a little bit less forcing the ball to do something and just letting the ball do it instead.
yeah. Yeah, I was actually watching the live stream yesterday when Pontus was here,
Hmm.
and you guys were talking about the lane motion and balls and other things, and he was talking about, and I feel like the same thing, that in Sweden we used to, when we see early friction or we see a pattern that's tricky, we want to go to balls that are stronger to
Hmm.
bend out
Yeah.
the pattern. Uh, and I feel like some people are trying to do the same thing here, but it hooks so early and
So
mid
early.
lane. So yeah, the
Instead of
solution isn't the same here, but people are trying to make it work like that. And yeah,
it feels like, especially in this squad, I've seen a couple of new bowlers. When I mean new bowlers, I mean that they have not bowled any squads before. And when it was the warm up, and I was standing up there, I saw a bunch of them using a dull urethane ball, and I was with my hands in my head. No, not again, not again. They for sure they haven't been listening to what I've been talking during the week. And not only I feel it's not going to be good for them, but I was also thinking, oh, poor the guy who's going to get into that lane a little bit later on, because all of a sudden, since it's not happening on every pair, it's a little bit like lottery.
Yeah.
Depending on which pair you jump, it's like, ooh, this one's still okay. They haven't really burned it. But depending on which pair you go, you're gonna be already like, oh my god, here we go again. So,
Yeah.
um, tell us a little bit about the squads you bowled. I mean, you bowled pretty good on the first attempt,
Yeah.
I believe it was. Then you struggle a lot on the second one.
Yeah. It was I bowled the first squad. I shot like 1200. Then the second one, it was the
The
1350
second
one.
one
Yeah.
was the 1350. Okay.
Uh, yeah, but I feel like also the squad I bowled, there wasn't as many people bowling, so we were free on some pairs, and
Hmm.
I feel like that helped. I could stay with. I was bowling with my Rockstar, and I could stay with that ball for almost.
A little longer than
Yeah,
expected.
yeah. I bowled with it the last 4 games, and
Okay.
maybe the last game it wasn't the best choice, but I had plus 160, so
And you
I
didn't
didn't
want
want to
to
shoot
take
like.
and yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't want to
Take
shoot
no
like
risks.
140,
Yeah,
150.
yeah.
So
Job
I,
was done. Try to ball safe and
yeah,
just keep it in my pocket, and I'll give it a try later on.
yeah,
It makes a lot of sense, and for me, it's nice that people with your talent and your even if you're a very young bowler still you have quite enough experience. I've seen you in Team Sweden for quite some time, and it's good that people like you come in and talk to especially all the amateurs who are watching and trying to follow so they understand a little bit more what's the approach you guys take when you go into a big event, what kind of things you think about, not only mentally but especially in terms of strategy. If you were watching yesterday, it was one of the things we were talking. Also, we spoke a couple of days ago with Andrew Anderson and Francois Lavoie. As he well said, we are so used to give a lot of surface on the ball. We are quite quick on reading the lane. So let's say we start the warm up, and 3 or 4 shots later, you know exactly where you want to be.
yeah,
And instead of carrying to burn that area, you usually grab a little bit more of a dull ball, move a little bit out, and do some extra room so you can miss out easily. But on this pattern, you don't want to do any of that.
no,
Actually, I said to myself, if I had to bowl, I would grab my spare ball, move 7 or 8 balls to the left, make a few shots straight, so I push the oil a little bit down.
yeah,
Because on this tournament, the lane you start your warm up is where you're gonna bowl the sixth game.
exactly.
So you want to try to at least do something that's not going to destroy the lane for when you come back 6 games later or 5 games later.
Yeah,
And maybe if you can manage to push the oil a little bit deeper inside your target, like quite deep inside your target, because if you do it just a couple of boards, it's not going to work. When you come back 5 games later, it's not going to be a 2 board move. It's going to be at least 6, 7 boards on the arrows.
yeah,
So you need to do that quite further left. And I think that's kind of things we want to tell the amateurs that there's a lot of things going on in bowling. You can have different approaches and different strategies, and that's why I'm very happy to have some time with you in here because then you can explain us also what kind of strategies you think. Are you going to bowl again? That's number one
I'm
question.
bowling tomorrow. So
Tomorrow.
yeah.
So you have any different strategy, any bowl change, any line change, any ideas you want to try to do different?
Um, I'm probably gonna try to do the same thing, see if it, yeah, if still works or if I need to try something else for Sunday. But yeah, I'm seeing that people are trying to bowl a little bit closer to the pocket than compared to the first weekend.
Hmm.
Uh, I saw Ryan Barnes when he was bowling, and also Kevin Melin,
Hmm.
that squad. I feel like they were closer to the pocket and didn't try to break that
Co-
many.
Cover that many amount of boards in the lane. It
Yeah,
feels like
exactly.
the more boards you want to cover on the lane, the more troubles you can get into, the more issues you can find.
Yeah, and from pair to pair, I feel like if you're closer to the pocket, then you don't have to do that many changes with balls and other stuff. So yeah, probably gonna try that for a little bit, but otherwise I'm gonna try to do the same thing, see if it's
See
still
if it
there.
works a little bit
Yeah,
better. If it doesn't really work, just grab some information for knowing some extra solutions for the final.
yeah. I'm also interested that if someone's gonna find something on the outside, like it doesn't look great out there, but if somebody finds something there,
You're gonna be bowling fresh all
Yeah,
day long,
all
pretty
six
much all day
games.
long.
So I've
It
seen some people try it, but it hasn't looked great. But
it looks
maybe.
very tricky. I think if someone could do this kind of a shot, it would probably have to be old school bowlers like Walter Ray or Thomas Lee Anderson,
Yeah,
and those guys that you could. Maybe when I was a little younger, I could do that myself. I was very accurate. I could take away the reps because in Spain we usually bowl with very, very dry lanes.
yeah,
So I got used to the burn from the beginning in a way. But what I mean is, if I had to bowl outside on this pattern, I would probably stay somewhere around 7, 8 in the arrows
yeah,
and keep the break point exactly at the same point. Even if I have to miss, I would try to miss one in, make sure I don't miss out, because we have seen a lot of people when they miss out, they have been taking the 6 and the 9. They have
yeah,
been taking just the 3 pins in the corner, and not once or twice. I think since I've been sitting here this week, at least I saw it 6 or 7 times. So it's really happening. It's very tricky when you miss out. But as you say, also I believe if people try to do that kind of approach, um, like in one of the squads, we see 4 or 5 bowlers trying to do that. It's going to be a higher scoring squad,
yeah,
most probably, because they're not going to burn the middle of the lane that quickly.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
going to leave you some extra room, so it would be quite interesting. William, we have a couple of questions here. Let's see what they're asking. Why do you think leader Ethan is bowling more squats? Isn't it certain he has made the cut? Well, I think Ethan is. If you check on our Instagram, and so I had a quick interview yesterday after he bowled his squat, and he made clear that he was going to bowl a few more squats. He wants to get more information from the lanes, and also uh, maybe he wants to get even a higher score to make sure he's going directly to step 2. But William, you let us know what you think.
Yeah, I feel like the same as you said. I think his score should be enough for final step 2, since it's 25 people making it
Hmm.
from the cut. But yeah, as you said, he wants to get more information on the lanes, stay in track what's happening in the lanes, and yeah,
But perhaps try a few more balls than he did on the first 2 squats.
yeah,
Perhaps try see also how the traffic is happening, because maybe on his squad he had some kind of a not so tough traffic. Maybe today he finds him a little bit tougher traffic, and he wants to give it a try as well.
yeah.
He was bowling with quite a strong ball yesterday. I don't remember the name, the new Forge,
Okay.
Steel Forge, I think
Yeah,
it's called. And but it looks like today is going back to that Bluth really likes
yeah.
a lot. So we'll see. And then we have another question. Uh, do women have their own classification, and if so, what is the cut? Actually, women have no handicap. They are bowling in the under the same rules as the men. The only thing they have is that as the seniors and the under 21, they have 2 spots guaranteed in the final. So if they don't have enough pins in their squads to qualify directly to step 1, or step 2, the top 2 women overall, they're gonna have a pass into the final. And then we have Chase saying outside, no, no. I agree with you. Outside, it's quite tough, and yeah, it's good that you're watching, buddy. Now, let's see. Back to the action. We have quite a few guys who can really bowl on the lanes. We have Justin Knowles, we have Trevor Roberts, we have Anton Anderson, we have Carl Eklund, we have Andre, we have Emma, she can bowl as well. We have Nora bowling somewhere, Antonio Fiorentino from Italy, Dominic Barrett somewhere. I've lost him, but I know he's out there somewhere. We have Nathan. So even if the scores are not crazy high, there's a lot of talent on the lanes.
There
It's a
is.
bunch of good bowlers on every single squad.
The scores were pretty high the first game. It's gone down a little bit now the second one.
Yeah, people is hitting traffic even sooner. I'm not saying it's because there was a few urethane dull balls again on the lane, but I have seen that so far. As soon as there has been new bowlers coming into the squad, because it's the first time they bowl in this pattern, it feels like on the warm up they try so many things. You only have 10 minutes, so they do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
When you have like 6 or 7 pairs with just one new bowler trying different stuff, it looks like the traffic they create on the lane, it makes quite of a mess.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Spanish bowling, where everybody puts the ball in a different position, and then when you go up there on the lane, it's like, okay, where should I bowl now? The big difference is that we always bowl in very easy conditions.
Yeah.
So the thing I do when I have this kind of traffic is I grab a very weak ball, I put myself in the gutter, or I go so much deeper inside, so I stay away from the traffic. People over there, they usually bowl between 10 and 16, 17. You have maybe one or two guys like Paco, he can bowl a little bit deeper, but
Yeah.
not many other can really grab it and go on. Just before I forget, let me remind you for all those who are watching, please subscribe into our YouTube channel so we can remain as we are now. It's 100% free. We're gonna have a lot of content. Obviously, this event is gonna be covered fully until the very end of the last frame of the last day. You will see the prize ceremony and so. But the rest of the season, you're gonna have the chance to see more PBA regional. You're gonna have the chance to see Swedish National League, which this year is gonna be even more electrifying. It's only 10 teams now, right?
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the Swedish league. Which team are you bowling for?
So I'm bowling with Pergamon.
Pergamon as well.
Yes.
So it's like the Barca in the Swedish league, right?
Yeah.
You always win the league and maybe sometimes skip away. No referees, like we have the issues with referees in Madrid. But which one is the team that you would say would give you more problems?
Well, Clan won it last year, so I would say that's the biggest competitor that we have. But the Elite Series is very close nowadays, and as you said, with 10 teams, it's going to be tough matches every time you bowl. Um, yeah, it's going to be fun, and a lot of teams are also bringing in new people from
From
around the
other
world.
countries, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's exciting as well. It's a cool format that we have in Sweden, and yeah, if it keeps growing,
Oh,
it's a lot of fun.
it's definitely very fun. I had the chance to bowl the Swedish league in a little bit lower divisions when I was up in Mora,
Yeah,
coaching them. I became coach and bowler, and even in lower divisions, you find quite a lot of talent. From time to time, you meet a team. Obviously, not everybody's bowling 240, but you find bowlers who shoot 950 or 1,000 over 4 games almost every weekend.
yeah,
It's so many talented bowlers up here in Sweden, and it's very different approaches also. I remember when I was watching online with the kids the matches you had between Pergamon and Clan. Team Clan, it was completely purple. Everything was urethane on the lanes, and it made a mess for guys like Martin and Jesper that they don't really have the chance to bowl with that softer urethane ball. And I guess that's also another thing that it's very interesting on the Swedish league, since it's 8 bowlers bowling 4 games. Depending on what you do with the lanes, if you're gonna use reactive and open up the lanes, it's gonna be super high scoring. But then all of a sudden, maybe they use a lot of urethane and the scores go a little bit lower game after game after game. But the atmosphere is electrifying.
yeah,
Even when you get to the playoffs, that's like Finland and Sweden facing each other on a
yeah.
hockey arena. It's people screaming everywhere, a lot of cheering, a lot of noise, and it definitely is a funny. So for those who are watching, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you follow the action, not only the PBA event we are currently bowling, not only the PBA regional that's going to go on during the season, but make sure to see some Swedish league matches. We have some more people talking. Is there a main channel? I guess it's not really a main channel. It's the Storm Lucky Larsen Masters. That we could call is like the homepage on inside YouTube. Daniel.
Yeah, but it's no main channel like on Bolt.
No, no. So it's not the main one like Bolt TV, but just subscribe to that YouTube channel you're watching now. That would be enough for you to get notifications of what goes on and when goes on.
I think here it's commentary on all the lanes, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's a good thing if you compare to Bowl TV. Obviously, their
They're covering
coverage
it.
is great, but you only get the commentary if you watch the main channel. If
Mm.
you choose a specific lane pair, you don't always get the
Maybe that's why.
commentary.
Maybe that's why he asking.
Yeah.
He got tired of my voice. I talked too much. He said, maybe can I find another way to watch it and without listening to that Spanish guy talking all day long. We are working on the scoring, refreshing. So pretty soon we're gonna give you an update of what goes on. Things that I see around. We have Matisse Blanchette from Canada on lane 1 and 2. He's got 459. He's bowling with, I believe he's from Italy, Gian Tomasi. That's a very Italian name, so he must be from Italy. He's got 428. They're partners on the pair. They are quite lower. They have 334, 312. People we see with 400. On 3 and 4, we have Yannick Ross with 413. He's also from United States. On 5 and 6, we have Dominic Barrett with 64 over. Robin Persson with 4 over. Anton Anderson. Anton is bowling a lot, I think. Yeah? I've seen him in quite a few squads already.
Yeah, maybe third, fourth squad. I'm not
Mm.
sure, but yeah.
So Anton has 11 over. Then we have. Oh, you have to help me now that you're here. How the hell you call this guy on?
The
Yeah, it's a very
Icelandic, yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce it either.
good
Good
lagur,
lago, yeah.
good lagur, something like that. Well,
I think people call him Gulli.
Gully. Yeah. Okay, then
That's easier
we're gonna
than
call him
the
Gully from now on because the first time I was reading, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna make a mess with my tongue. We have also Eric Jones on 7 and 8. Eric's fighting to try to get something that's going to work for him. Then, if we jump to 9 and 10, we have, oh my, Carl is on 325. I think he lost a lot of energy last night. He's going to need a couple of cups of coffee to recover a little bit. Then we find Nora. Nora is also struggling a little bit, and she's got the talent, she's got the rep, she's got everything, but she has not been that lucky yet. 344 at the moment, so it's not a very high score for her. Emma, she's got 418. She has made, I think, every single squat I've seen on Emma bowling, she's done over par on the first 2 games, like easy. I remember one of the days she's got 480 on the first 2,
Yeah.
but then the damn traffic cost her to, and she didn't do any very low game. She just
Not,
couldn't do any more, so it was 180, 180, 180, and then she ended up with 27 over, which at the moment is a tie with Nora as well. They're
yeah.
both the two leading girls, but she hasn't been any lucky after, as you said, game 3 and 4. It becomes quite a mess. So let's see if we can see her finding something that works today, and she doesn't have that many issues.
Yeah.
Now, 15 and 16, we have Justin Knowles with 449 and Trevor Roberts with 445. Martin Paulson bowling for the senior, made a little bit lower second game for what I see. Do we have anybody else over par? It looks like we had Ethan Fury with 21 over and
Nathan also on lane
yeah,
17, right?
17. Yeah, so he's got
6 over.
28, so it was a 6 over for him. Yeah, lanes are demanding. Definitely, lanes are demanding. It's going to be some people who are going to succeed and find a way to overcome the difficulties, but some others are really going to get into some trouble. And the other thing that's happening, since lately we are bowling in such easy patterns, we are so relaxed. We don't really have to focus that extra. You don't really have to spare 7 times per game. You just spare a couple of times per game. And when you end up doing just 2 or 3 strikes for 2 or 3 games, the brain starts to get tired. Like, ooh, I really need to focus. I really need to think. And now I start missing a couple of spares. And then all of a sudden, everything it's so annoying. It's hard to control yourself. Up here, maybe you have a colder blood, but I can picture myself over there being so upset, like, why the hell am I bowling again on this motherfucking squat and pattern? And how you guys do that? How you keep calm when you get yourself into big issues?
On on lanes that are difficult like this, patience is key, I would say. Yeah, it's you just gotta if you have a good score after 1, 2, 3 games, you just gotta keep it together and
Don't lose
ev-
your head.
yeah, everyone's gonna have a bad game, almost everyone. So it's just a matter of maybe shooting 190 instead of 150, 160. That's
I agree.
a big
I agree.
big difference, and yeah, keep it together. And some pairs are gonna be bad, and some are gonna be good. It's also about taking advantage of the good pairs and hopefully shoot a 240, 250, and
But
make a big jump as well.
it has to be difficult. I mean, you really need to be used to competition week after week after week, because otherwise, as you say, when I get into a bad pair, I have to make sure that I don't bowl 150. I have to remain at least 190. But then when I go to call it easy pair in a way, now I really need to make 250. So I'm putting pressure on myself. So
Yeah,
it's not an easy situation. I guess it's a very long squat. At some point, you end up being like, oh my god, this is never ending. This is taking forever. And yeah, to be honest, the mental game wasn't never my best. When things weren't okay, then I would be very dangerous. But as soon as I saw like, oh, I'm not gonna win this, I'm gonna be third, fourth, I was so angry. I'd rather drop down 20 spots and don't end up being second. But I'm quite crazy. So guys, they're watching and listening. Never do what I did. That was not a good example. There was a time in my life I had to bowl. Every time I had to bowl, I brought two bowling shirts
oh, okay, yeah,
because
just in case.
not just in case, just because I knew for sure that the first one at some point I would do the Hulk Hogan over there, and I had to grab the second one. It was so embarrassing when you end up bowling, with a open shirt
Yeah,
for 2 or 3 games. So instead of trying to calm down, I knew I was not going to be able to calm down. So I decided, okay, you know what, take two bowling shirts instead.
yeah.
So people thinks about how many balls am I taking, which balls am I taking. I was worrying about how many shares am I taking into the bowling alley. um,
It's definitely challenging with the mental game for this tournament. But it's also a good thing. I feel like in Sweden, as you said, we're used to bowling on easier patterns nowadays, and I feel like that's the wrong direction to go. I feel like we should go the other way, bowl on tougher patterns and patterns that are more similar to what we bowl on the PBA. And
mm.
uh, but yeah,
It makes sense. I mean, I understand the perspective of the bowling alley owners and bowling alley managers. They want their customers to go home very happy because, yeah, when they go to bowl, but that is a little bit more in the amateur level. So I believe there should be room for both things. And lately, we don't see many demanding patterns. It's everything is about just creating power, moving left, give more surveys, keep moving left, keep pushing in harder, and it seems to me now that I'm getting a little bit older, I'm more into coaching than bowling. It's not good for this new generation. I mean, the bowlers who are now 17 for the last 5 years, so that's pretty much since the beginning of their understanding of the game. They have been bowling on these easy patterns where they only need one or two balls,
yeah, a lot of
mostly
urethane,
mostly
especially the
urethane,
purple and
and so they get a lot of control because the ball gives you a lot of control, and all they have to care about is giving reps and pushing it harder. But then, as soon as they move into one of these tougher conditions, they suffer a lot.
yeah,
And you see, they miss a lot of spares, and they're not really used to do the things that we used to do in the past. I mean, I remember for me, the first time I came up to Sweden with Patrick Bowman and Thomas Leandersson, Mats Karlsson, Ulf Hamnes,
yeah,
they teach me to do a lot of things. First, they fix me completely because coming from Spain, I had zero technique. I was shooting 35 kilometers per hour. I was very accurate, but I had maybe 3 reps on my ball and 40 kilometers per hour. Uh, so they fixed my timing. They showed me how to relax my swing and let the ball move the arm. But after that, when you're 15, you learn things pretty fast. So It took me a couple of days to learn how to do that the right way, not to be repetitive or consistent, but to do it the right way. And then they start in explaining, okay, this is going forward. That's going to make the ball hook a little bit earlier, a little bit more in a consistent way. This is going around the ball. That's going to make the ball go a little bit longer. So that's one thing I don't see that often anymore, changing the hand position.
Yeah.
Another thing they teach me how to bowl regular speed, slower speed, higher speed. Now we only see high speed. We never see, or hardly we see young bowlers going slow and curving the ball and having like more control on what they do. And for me, it's a shame because bowling is very complex. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of factors around the sport. And I wonder what's going to happen if, let's say, 3 years from now, they really decide to banish all the urethane balls in every single federation in the planet. What's going to happen to all those kids that are only used to bowl purple hammers or soft urethane that's reading super early? They're going to kill them.
Yeah, it's gonna be like learning how to bowl all over again,
Yeah,
pretty
but
much. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying, and a lot of the new generation are losing their touch
absolutely.
with only throwing urethane, because if the urethane hooks too much or too early, they move left and just rip it more, and with reactive and on conditions like this, yeah, it's not the same thing, and
It's demanding completely the opposite to what they are used to. And we see that, for example, for me, that I follow a lot of sports and I try to stay, understanding what goes on in the rest of the sport community. There's a lot of talk lately in both football and basketball that the younger generations, for them to sit down in front of the TV and to see the whole football match, it's too long.
yeah,
They don't last for 2 hours sitting on watching something. What I mean is they're always active with their phones and stuff like that. So if 3 years from now we get all this generation who has no patience
yeah,
and we get away all the urethane balls, how many are really going to be patient to learn how to bowl for real?
yeah, it's a,
That's what I'm afraid of. That half of the bowlers under 17 or under 18, they're gonna just quit. Oh, okay, now it's too difficult for me. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it, so I'm gone.
yeah, it's an easy sport to learn nowadays. Throw it two hands and the urethane in your hands, and you can shoot high scores
Mm.
on easy patterns. But yeah, the thing I don't like about the urethane and about easy patterns and everyone throwing the purple in some tournaments, that the aspect of being good with how you set up with balls and speed and all those things,
It's
just
gone.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
gone.
So
It
you
doesn't
can't
separate.
you can't win a tournament by being good at the tactical aspect of the game. That's a little bit sad, I feel like.
I agree. I agree absolutely, and I hope that people who are in charge they think a little bit different, um, especially in the European zone. It looks like they decided to carry on with soft urethane and allow it to be over there. And we'll have to see what goes on in a few years from now, but I'm afraid it's probably not the right direction.
Yeah, I like what the PBA has done with the 78 rule. I feel like it's kind of gone back to old school with the urethane. You
Hmm.
throw it for a game or two, and then you have to
And
switch to reactive. Yeah, and I would say that a lot of the players I've talked to has feel like it's a good thing as well. But yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. But it's obviously gonna. It's not a discussion that's gonna end for another couple of years. I feel like.
yeah, yeah, we will have to see what goes on. We have some comments over here. They say they love the commentary. We appreciate. Thank you very much for your kindness. Let's have a look at the scores now. We are in the middle of game three. That has been the moment. Every single squad I've been commenting that most people started to struggle and the score started to be like a little bit lower. We have some people that are surviving pretty good. We have I was gonna say just jinxing. Yannick Ross on lane 3 and 4. He got a double spare and triple. He just left the 210. That's very that's very common. Every time I try to talk good about someone, boom, there comes a bad frame. But it is what it is. I'm glad they are bowling and they cannot blame it on me. We have Ethan Fury bowling at the moment in 19 and 20. He's got strike doubles, sorry, strike nine spare, and four in a row. Then we have Antonio Ferrentino, Italian guy, very tall, two-handed, bowling on 15 and 16. He's got spare, strike, spare, and a triple. Dom was doing good on the first two games, but
5 and 6, right?
yeah, 5 and 6 now, double nine miss, nine spare double, so he's six over par at the moment. He's going to shoot on lane six. Let's see where Dominic is throwing the ball at the moment. Oh, already on 25,
Yeah,
26.
he's moved
He
deeper
moved
now.
deeper, yeah, definitely. Then Andre on 13 and 14, Martin Paulson on 15 and 16. Some people is doing some strikes, but we start to see as soon as they miss a little bit, it's no longer nine spare. We see a lot of sevens and six and splits, and as you said, it becomes very tricky and it's not easy. And also, I understand when you make, for example, you start with 450, 460. It's not a super high score, but you're on the right pace to make it into the cut. Then you switch lanes, you find yourself in trouble, and it has to be at some point a fight with your own brain. Like, it feels like I have to make a big move. It feels like I have to make a drastic change, but I just shot 60 over, so I'm not sure I want to make such a drastic move. And then what's really happening is when you don't do that drastic move, you end up having a 150 game.
Yeah.
So it's a very tricky event. Very interesting to see and to do the comments on.
Yeah, it's hard to stay aggressive with your moves when it's a tricky pattern because you don't want to give away any pins, but also if you don't make the move, you might end up giving away pins as well. So
Even more,
yeah,
perhaps. Okay, so Ethan seems to feel quite comfortable on those 19 and 20. He's got five bagger at the moment. He was at 21 over after two games, so it's this guy can really bowl, right?
yeah, he's really good. When saw him the first time in the US, I was really impressed with his physical game. It looks really solid, and yeah, he has a very bright future. He's already a major champion on tour, and yeah, he's gonna win
A lot.
plenty of more times.
Yeah, a
I
lot,
feel like,
a
yeah,
lot. I said to him yesterday when I did the interview that when I saw him the first time I saw him online, I think it was the match he did against EJ Tackett when they had to do that,
how the roll off,
the roll off
yeah,
that lasted forever.
yeah,
And for me, when especially as a coach, because as a bowler, I bowl one hand all my life, and I just tried a few times, two hands just for fun, but I definitely don't have the speed on my legs. So my ball goes 10 miles per hour. It hooks in the middle of the lane, and there's no chance for me. But even as a coach, obviously, I had to pay a lot of attention on how you guys do it with two hands, because it's the new generation. They don't want to learn how to bowl one hand. They want to learn how to bowl two hands. So I have to pay a lot of attention on what things you do different in terms of timing. You need to adjust the timing. You need to understand it's a lot shorter swing, so you need to move the ball quite later compared to when we move it as a one-hander. You guys have to go a lot faster on the approach because you want to produce the speed more with the legs than with the arm. Otherwise, you become a little bit inconsistent. So for me, it was like trying to understand the two hands, try to become better as a coach, see many different bowlers. Obviously, I started watching a lot of Jason. Then when I saw Kyle Trapp, so now I'm talking a few years ago, it was like, this looks a little bit like old school two-handed, but the real click, it was when I saw Ethan Fury, and that's what I asked him yesterday. I said, when I saw you online, it felt to me like not only somebody matched the two hands with the proper timing, but it kind of matched the old school style where you post every shot and you have such a perfect balance in the foul line, and you don't really have to overdo anything. I mean, if you compare Ethan to people like Osku, Osku
Yeah.
is super powerful, super. It's very different.
Yeah.
So for me, it reminds me a little bit like, okay, we grabbed an old school guy. Maybe we grabbed the brain from an old school bowler from the 70s or the 80s, and we put it on a young kid who's gonna bowl two hands. And he's got that exquisite, smooth technique. So watching him instantly, I got so much information. So I said to myself, I like this approach. I'm gonna, especially for older people who wants to switch from one hand to two hands. Like if I wanted to do that, it's very hard for me to accomplish that speed in the leg. So watching Ethan when he was doing the push away, how late it was compared to the two hands and stuff like that. So actually, it's and to see him live, it's obviously he does it very very good.
Yeah, I would say that if I was gonna teach someone to bowl two-handed from scratch, he's the guy I would
Show him,
show
like
and
this is what you
try.
want to do,
Yeah.
right? Okay, terms of scoring, lanes are a little bit harder. Some people is managing to survive pretty well. Not only Ethan Fury is going to shoot the 10th frame after six bagger. Let's see if he's get number 7. Yeah,
That was good.
absolutely. So he's on his way for a 269 game. If we look at lanes 1s and 2, the guy from Canada also, who was currently on second position with 59 over, is going to shoot 244. He's quite solid also. He's quite deep inside. He's already doing a little bit of, no, not lofting it yet, but quite deep inside. Uh, he felt quite comfortable on games 5 and 6. Matisse. I have seen him struggling at the beginning of the squad, so maybe this could be the good squad for him. Maybe he
Yeah.
could manage to survive this one. Uh, who else was doing okay? Dominic saved the 205 at the end, so he's going to currently sit at 69 over. I saw Nora doing some striking, but I lost her. Now it's too many screens.
11, 12, she shot 221.
221, but still 65, 565, so it's 35 below par. Yeah, we have a big names on the lanes. Many talented bowlers, and not all of them managing to do as good as they wish. Ethan Fury 266, I believe, for a total score of 886. No, it was an 8, so 267 and 688 after 3. Now, William, let me tell you, you don't have to sit here all day long. I know I asked to give me a hand and come and talk for a couple of games. I know you need to get some information. It's a lot easier to see when you are outside live. And so feel free to go outside whenever you want. We
Yep.
really appreciate you having sitting with us for a little while, giving us your perspective, your point of view on what goes on, your perspective on today's bowling situation, your perspective on this particular event and lane conditions we are facing. And we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make sure to follow the action when you bowl again. You say bowl tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yes. Yeah, it was fun being here. It was a different experience.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and I think it's great with what you're doing with the commentary, and the live streaming is extremely important, I would say, to get people to watch from around the world. So, yeah, it's fun to come here and commentate for a bit.
You feel free to jump in whenever you want.
Yeah,
We appreciate
I
your.
might come back. We'll see.
That would be lovely. Thank you so much, William.
Thank you.
I'll see you later on. We keep in touch. And okay, we are ending game number 3, which is the tough one. We're gonna get into game number 4, which is not gonna be so pleasant either. And then we will reach 5 and 6, where turbo goes on. And as soon as the turbo is happening, even if you have a very low squad, you really want to fight back, because you could put yourself into the finals just by having one very high game on game 5 or game 6. Um, as we said, Matthias Blanchett 244, So he's now 103 over after 3 games. That's one of the first 700s we have in 3 games. I don't really remember anyone else having 100 over after 3 games. So that would be quite noticeable. Then we have Ethan Fury with 88 over. This guy really can score, so wouldn't be surprised if he repeats and he goes pretty high again. So are we gonna finally see the first 1400 in this event? I'm crossing my fingers and I'm pushing hard in positive energy and positive vibes that we will see. Let's see. Lanes 3 and 4, we can see Ernesto Reynoso fighting his way back. Ernesto has been very successful on the first couple of games on every single squad, especially on game one. I would say more than the first couple of games. Game one, he was bowling really, really high. When we had him here on the streaming, he was telling us he had bowled 3 or 4 squads. He was nearly 200 over on games one. But then he got into traffic and he couldn't find any solution. He had drilled himself a little bit of a weaker ball to try to see if he could compensate. It didn't really work yesterday, but he bowled on a squad where pretty much everybody was struggling a lot. Today, for being game three, I think he's going to be by far his highest third game in any squad. If he strikes one more, he's going to go on the 257 for 250 something. Let's see. Shooting it quite firm from the inside, missed a little bit in, so it's going to remain on a 246, but still is a very good game. It's going to put him again on par. People who's bowling okay as well. We have Trevor. He had 45 over, but now he's struggling a little bit on lane 15 and 16. He's going to shoot 180. The Italian guy, Antonio Fiorentino, also bowling on 15 and 16. He's got a triple, then he made one miss on the spur, but he's got another triple, just made a strike on the 10th frame. So he's looking to put himself on 16 over with a couple of strikes more. Ernesto 246, so he ended up with 629. And we are ending game three, so you give me a couple of minutes. We're going to refresh the scores and I'll let you know exactly how things are going. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go again. I just went outside to try to see some action live for a couple of frames while the scores were refreshing. I see we have some more people talking. Xavi, bon dia. Sí, avui hem començat aviat. Avui hem començat a les 9 del matí. Ara cada dia comencem a les 9 del matí. For those wondering, I'm just answering to a friend in Barcelona is asking me that we began a little bit sooner today. Yes, from now on, every day we're gonna start 9 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna have 4 squats today, 4 squats tomorrow, and 4 squats on Saturday. Sunday is gonna be the finals, and it's going to be a lot of action as well. It's going to be quite a long day since step one and the final is going to start 8 o'clock in the morning. So everybody who wants to follow the action, you're going to have to get 7:30 in the morning coffee. If you are in the Central European times, if you are watching from somewhere else, you're going to have to find out. Let me tell you, so you know the hours difference. We are currently at 10:36 in the morning here in Helsingborg, 10:36 in Barcelona, an hour less in United Kingdom, and so on and so on. Now back to the scoring. We have, I believe, it's the first 700 series I see in the first 3 games. That's for Mathis Blanchette from Canada. He shot games of 249, 210, and 244. And 240 game on game three, it's pretty good because it's when the tough transition really starts showing up. Another guy who did very good on game three, it's Ethan Fury. He shot 267, so he's sitting on 88 over, 207, 214, 267. Then we find another PBA from England, Dom Barrett, 247, 217, 205. So he's managing to survive at the beginning of the transition. Let's see what he can do on game four. Then we find the young talented kid from United States, Ernesto Reynoso, with games of 202, 181, but 246. So Ernesto seems to me is going to be a dangerous kid more sooner than later on this event because he has been bowling terribly good on the first game of pretty much every squad, and then he couldn't really find what to do later on. This particular morning, he didn't start that high as he was used to. He just shot 202 on game one, but he found something that is working on transition because he just shot 246 on game three. That's very good news for Ernesto. Fifth place, we find another United States bowler, Trevor Roberts. He shot 193, 252, 182. So that is pretty much what we see a lot on this event. We see people shooting games of 250 and then all of a sudden going for 170, 160, and that has to do with traffic. It's a very demanding pattern. Um, you pretty much want to buy a few coffees to the bowlers who are bowling in the pair you're gonna bowl later on to make sure that they don't mess it so much. And then that's the reason why. I mean, if I look around, I see a lot of these 220, 160, 221, 155, 250, 180. 212 170, 214 180, 210 150. For example, for Justin Knowles, he shot 220, 210 158. Emma Haltunen, 203, 215 155. It's happening. It's happening to pretty much every bowler and everybody at some point during the squad. So it's not an easy pattern. It's pretty demanding. You need to be really focused, and you also need to be, I would say, lucky that when you move to the next pair, it doesn't really has become very messy. That the traffic hasn't made it really impossible for you to bowl on. And I think we have some more Korean going on in our chat again. Looks like it's changed from one channel to the other, but. Hey, feel free to keep texting, and as long as you stay with us and you are part of the action, keep going. Now, let's see a little bit of action. I would recommend you to go to the cameras on lane 1, 2, 3, and 4. On 1 and 2, we have Don Barrett, is quite surviving mode. 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare. On 3 and 4, we have Ethan Fury with front 5. We can see as well Melania Rossi from Italy. She is a very young, talented kid. She bowled in the under 21 World Cup we had here in Helsingborg at the end of June. Let's see who else is there. We have on 13 and 14, we have Gary Haynes, Killian Johnson from Belgium, and Nathan LaJoy, who's got strike spare and a full bagger. I think Nathan is doing a little bit different than the others, but I don't want to talk too early. It's an impression I had by one of the shots. We have so many cameras, so I'm gonna pay close attention what Nathan is doing on the next frame, and I'll let you know if he's really moved deeper or further outside. He's, if you're curious, he's bowling on lanes 13 and 14. Then on 17-18 we have Czech Republic kid Ondrej Prekop. He's sharing lanes with Emma Haltunen. Emma just shot 155 games, so she's sitting at 27 under. But she's proving to be very strong mentally. She's started with a double, then she's got a split, but she took the spare, and now a couple of 9 spares as well. And on that pair, 17 and 18, we also find Mathis Blanchette, which is the current leader of this squad with 103 over. Unfortunately, it looks like this pair is a little bit tougher for him. He started with spare strike, miss strike, and spare again. But still more than half the game to go, so he still have room to find something that works a little bit better for him and score a little bit higher. Now on 7 and 8, it's also quite an interesting camera, I would say. On 5, 6, 7, 8, we have Carl Eklund, super talented young bowler from Sweden. We have Ernesto Reynoso, who's a super talented young kid from United States. And we find the local hero, Nora Johansson, another super talented two-handed bowler. The three of them, young bowlers, super talented two-handers. So if you want to learn a little bit more about two hands and how the young kids do it today, you can witness their way of bowling. They have very, very high speed on their legs, so they really make sure to get into the lanes before the ball arrives. That gives them a lot of balance, a lot of control, and yeah, they are really, really talented. I happened to see what Nathan was doing on 13 and 14. He's not outside. The contrary, is quite deep inside on the lane. Unfortunately, that wasn't the best shots of them all. The ball jumped too deep in the head pin. So he's got a split of 5 pins. He left 3, 6, 10, 4, 7. But it's a makeable spare, so we will have to see if he managed to take that spare. Looks good. Oh, that was pretty close. Just left the 6 pin over there, so sorry, the 3 pin over there, so it couldn't really take the spare. Okay, let's find again our leaders of the squad: Ethan Fury, Mathis Blanchette, Dominic Barrett, and Ernesto Reynoso. Ernesto just left the 2-7. He's got the spare double, spare strike, so if he spares it one, it's still gonna be up par. Then on lanes 1 and 2, Dominic Barrett is struggling a little bit. He had kept going with that 9 spare streak for quite long. It was 9 spare, 9 spare strike, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, and now he just finally got the 8. He left the 2-8. Should be able to spare it. Let's see if he can double on the 10th frame to save the par, make it to 100 game, which would be important for him. On lane 3 and 4, Ethan Fury, front 6, 9 spare, so he's on the pace close to 250 again. That would put him with 130 something over. This kid has found a way to succeed in this pattern. He's very good, obviously. He's very accurate. He can repeat shots like a strike machine. But not only that, he has found a way to conquer the lanes, and because he's making it work on every single squad he's been trying at the moment. The bowlers we were trying to pay some attention was Antonio Fiorentino from Italy. He's bowling on, I believe, he's 11-12. Double and four spares. Martin Paulson sharing lane with him. Is the senior who is at the moment leading the senior event. It's not that there is a separate event; it's the same event. Just the seniors have an extra pass into the final. The top two seniors that are not already in the final, they can make it through the senior spots. He's got one open frame on frame one, then 4 9 spurs and a couple of strikes. Yeah, not very high games at the moment. Nothing really crazy going on. As we said before, when William was talking with us, game one and two are quite okay. I mean, the pattern is demanding, but since you have the warm up, you can find your spot on the lanes and still survive it. Game two, traffic is not that terrible yet, so people manages to survive quite okay on game two. But then game three, real traffic shows up, transition. People needs to start changing ball, moving deeper in the lane. Every pair is a little bit different than the other due to the traffic that the previous bowlers have caused in there. And we start to get some issues and get a little bit of lower scoring. And that gets a little bit more exponential when you get into game number four, which is the one we are bowling at the moment. I believe the highest score on this game is going to be by Ethan Fury by far. We see some people struggling a little bit. Dominic Barrett, 182, so he's going to drop down to 52 over. No, 51 over, excuse me, 851 for Dominic Barrett. So that means on the next two games he needs at least I would say 70 over to try to make it into the finals. Yeah, today probably is going to clear a little bit our predictions. Is the cut gonna go as high as I said at the beginning of the week with 150 over, or is it gonna lower down a little bit? If you guys were watching, we had Robert Anderson 3 days ago. We were talking at the very beginning of the event. My prediction was 150 over. Robert said it was going to be a little bit lower, like 130 over. So far, it looks like Robert has a better understanding of what was going to go on than I do. But I still believe that when many of the PBA bowlers bowl together, they probably going to approach the lanes in a slightly different way during warm up, and that would let the lanes become a little bit less tough on games 3 and 4. Maybe a little bit drier by the end of the squad, maybe a little bit tougher on games 5 and 6 than it has been at the moment. But I think 3 and 4 could be a little bit easier than they have been playing lately. Not many high games as we predicted. Game 4 becomes very, very tricky. We can see some super good bowlers getting themselves in very, very big issues. Andrei Prekop, for example, is got 8 frames gone, not a single strike. Started with 9 spare, but then it's 8 spare, 7 spare, 8-0, 7-2, 6-2, 7 spare, 7-1. So he needs to strike out for a 163 game. That proves the lanes are pretty demanding. I mean, this kid is super talented. He can do pretty much anything with a bowling ball in his hands. He can hook it normally. He can go back up, but it's not really working in any direction for him. The other thing we see happening is when the lanes are starting to burn the way they are burning, people starts moving inside. But then when you get yourself so deep inside on the lane, you cannot miss to the left because then you find a lower amount of oil due to the way it's built, the profile is built. And the other thing that happens is because you feel it's getting drier and drier, you start pushing the ball a little bit more, and then when you miss to the right, the ball never comes back. Well, you miss to the right, or if you're a lefty, you miss to the left. So instead of that, I'm going to say when you miss out, it's not going to recover. The ball's not going to come back. So we see a lot of people. For example, I just saw Emma on 17 and 18 first shot. She left the 1-2-4. The ball did not make it back to the pocket. And on that spare, unfortunately for her, she did exactly the same thing. The ball did not come back into the headpin, so that was an expensive 7-0 for her. Our current leader also on lane 17 and 18 under quite some struggle. 6-pair strike, 6-pair strike, 8-1 strike, 9-pair 5-2, which is quite expensive. 9-pair, 9-pair. So he's gonna make a shot now on the 9th frame. If he makes a strikeout, it's gonna be just 189. That means he's gonna drop down from the 100 over that he was standing in, and the only bowler who's gonna be above 100 pins above par is gonna be Ethan Fury, which is gonna shot 240 game. He's already on 113 over with the 10th frame to be done, or to be finished. He takes the spur. So Ethan's going to be the new leader of the squad with 130 over. And if he strikes, it's going to be 133 to be more precise. But the other bowlers who were on the top with him, they shot a little bit lower games. I'm going to remind you, we had Dominic Barrett was sitting with 69 over, but he just shot 182, so it's now down to 51 over. And Matisse Blanchette is on. He just striked on the 9th frame on lane 17 and 18, so he needs to strike out for a potential 892. So yeah, only Ethan is beyond the 100 pins over at the moment. The other thing we're gonna see is, if you guys remember, on game 1 we had 18 bowlers above par. On game 2, I believe it was still 16. Now after game 3 it was only 11 bowlers above par, and it looks like after game 4 it's gonna be an even lower number. Many lanes already getting close to 10th frame, so we will pretty shortly refresh scoring and find out what's going on, who's on the top, who's surviving, who's not going that well. In any case, all the bowlers who are in the lanes now, they really need to settle down their brain. They need to relax, they need to focus again, because we're going to remind you one more time that games 5 and 6, even if you have a terrible day on the lanes, they could still gain you a spot into the final. So as I said before, time to relax, time to cool down, time to put your thoughts back into the right spot and give it a try for the last 2 games. So you just need a very high game, and sometimes it could be even easier to just find yourself on a not so tough pair. Maybe you find yourself a line and you're able to shot 260 to 70. I would say it's a little bit easier to make one high game in game 5 and 6 than being steady for 6 games when the traffic is so crazy as it is in some of the days. Today on the warm up, as we were talking earlier with William Svensson from Team Sweden, we saw some guys throwing urethane, some dull balls, and that definitely was not helping make the lanes any easier. And if you want to understand what goes on, I think if you if you look at the two-handers with a lot of high speed, you don't really see the ball reaction that clearly. If you see the guys who are already very deep inside and trying to hit the remainings of the oils left on the lane, like Matisse Blanchette, you don't really see it that much. But if you look at the ball reaction, for example, as I've been saying for Emma Haltunen, she's bowling now on lane 18. The last two shots, she missed a little bit to the outside. It's not a big miss, I tell you. It was a very little miss to the outside, and she didn't hit the head pin on frame 8 or frame 9. She had a washout on frame 9. This last shot on the 10th frame, she was bowling quite deep inside, but probably not deep enough if you take in consideration the traffic. And you could see how early her ball was moving on the lane. It was happening already, I would say, on 30 feet. The ball already changed direction. So the ball reaction was nearly like a dull urethane ball reading so early. But she's throwing a reactive. It's a polished copper stock. Now you can see on lane 18, she's standing in front of the ball return. And let's see what goes on now. Yeah, now she moved a little bit deeper onto 23, 24. Now she found a little bit more of oil. And if you guys were paying attention, that was one of the things that specifically we were talking with William on the previous shots. She felt like she had the spot. She started with a double and a few spares. Then she got some transition happening very strongly during the middle of the game. And because she had a couple of strikes and she was in the pocket, she didn't move like drastic enough as she did on that 12 frame. And that is one of the things that's happening on this pattern. You really need to be brave. It's not only demanding you to be accurate and to be precise and to be focused all the time, but it also doesn't allow you to be quite a chicken. It really demands you to make a big move when you see the ball is not working anymore. You don't have to be afraid to jump 5, 6, 7 boards to the left and even go weaker, even go with a weaker ball, weaker copper stock, weaker core. Yeah, very tough conditions. I must say I'm very glad I'm not bowling this event. I'm very glad I'm not struggling out there myself and I can just be on the commentary room and talking bad about the bowlers who are not doing the right decisions. it's it's a lot easier over here. Mr. Know-it-all, absolutely. Okay, game 4 is over. We will have the scoring refresh pretty soon, but I'm gonna try to count how many people still above par. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9. So yeah, we dropped down from 11 bowlers over par. Now we are getting down to 9. I hope it doesn't carry on that way. Otherwise, it's going to be just Ethan Fury and maybe one or two more. Yeah, not easy. Definitely not easy. Very demanding pattern. We see very good bowlers that even if they are young, I admire, like Carl Eklund and Andre Prekop, Nora Johansson. I mean, these kids really know how to bowl. When they have their spot and they start striking, it's unbelievable to see them bowl. They make bowling so much fun for spectators. But it's not easy. It's not easy. Nora, for example, she's 28 under. Andre, 80 under. Carl Eklund, 100 under. Let's see, some other young, talented bowlers. If we go to the other extreme, Martin Paulson, senior, 100 down. Uh, yeah, it's quite demanding, quite demanding. I must say it's not easy. For example, Gian Tomasi started pretty well, 216 to 12. It looked pretty steady, but then he went to 175, 181, so he dropped down from par down to 784. Eric Jones from United States, it's on 799, so he's got games of 215, 182, 221, 181. So it's one game is high, next game is a little bit low, one game is high, next game is a little bit low. Uh, Now, back to proper update of all the scoring after game 4. On the lead, Mr. Perfect, pretty much. Oh, yeah, I just saw quite a low game. I'm gonna start from the top anyway. Yeah, yeah, that's the biggest drop down we have seen after game 4. Trevor Roberts from United States. He was sitting on the 5th position with 27 over. After 3 games, he just shot 136, so he dropped down 10 spots down. Now he's 37 behind the par. Uh, but as I said before, games 5 and 6, they are really important for you to gain back your energy, gain back your focus, stay positive on your brain, because if you manage to survive this one and make a very high game, you could find yourself into the final. We have the turbo games going on game 5 and game 6. Currently, it's 267 on both of them. So if you make 268, you would be the turbo guy. But I would expect at some point they are gonna go up to probably 270 something. So now I'm really gonna tell you the scores after 4 games. Ethan Fury on the lead with 932 pins, 207, 214, 267, 244. Mathis Blanchette from Canada is on the second position. Excuse me, 872, 249, 210, 244, 169 on the previous game. As we said, games 3 and 4, things get messy. Dom Barrett, English guy, also bowling from, coming from the PBA, 247, 217, 205, 182, so he dropped down as well to 51 over. Ernesto Reynoso, somehow he's managing to survive on the games he was really struggling, was exactly game 3 and 4. This time he shot 246 and 214 on those games 3 and 4. Unfortunately, he didn't do as well as he was doing on especially on game 1. So Ernesto now is sitting on the 4th position of this squad with 43 over. Then we find the other Canadian guy on the lanes, Nathan. He's got 841, 197, 209, 196, 239. Then we find the first Italian, Antonio Fiorentino, with 826. Antonio started a little bit not over par, 193, 187, but now he shot 236 and 210. Then we find Robin Persson, 824, Yannick Ross, 815, and the last person who is above par is Anton Andersson, 9th position in the moment in this squad with 814. Now, if I look at the specific scores on game number 4, I'm not gonna go any lower than top 25 in this squad. But starting from the beginning, Ethan Fury 244, but then we see 169, 182, another game of 190, 2 games of 181, 181, another game of 180 exactly, 136 for Trevor, 175 for Emma, 187, 178, 131 for Andre, 158 for Gulli, 166 for Melania, 138 for Mikael Gottfries, 172 Martin Paulson, 168 Carl Eklund, 172 SC from Finland, 165 for Pauline from France. So as you see, I only read the scores on game 4 for top 25 on this squad, and except Ethan with 244, Nathan with 239, and Robin Persson with 239. Everything else is quite a mess. So traffic is expensive. Traffic is causing a lot of pins drop, and not easy. let me have a look. I see some people is talking in the commentaries in the chat. Eric Jones is pretty talented. He's awesome and a funny guy, quite active on social too, and got quite a lot of wins in regionals. Yeah, definitely Eric is a very talented guy. I believe I would say pretty much on every squad, 75% of the bowlers are really, really talented bowlers, very high quality. Uh, but the pattern is so demanding, and the traffic you find on every time you change pairs. It's not easy to deal with. Then we have a message from Anders Lundboll. How did the DJ gig go? Did you open with Barcelona by Freddie Mercury and Montserrat Caballé or Condor Barca? Oh, that's pretty cool. Actually I didn't use any of those. I started playing some music when the buffet was opening. Actually, half an hour before the buffet was opening, so that's when second squad was done, and I played a little bit of chill house music. I didn't want it to uh, be annoying while people was eating, so it was no commercial stuff, just very smooth, relaxed music. And then by 7 o'clock, more or less, I started to pump it up a little bit more because we had that Iceman Eliminator challenge. It was a lot of fun, a lot of people in the bowling alley, and the party went on till quite late, let me tell you. Myself being the DJ, I left a lot sooner than most of the PBA bowlers and most of the local bowlers. I know the party has gone on for quite a few hours. Some people was in the bowling alley still having fun at 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, that was one of the things I said when I arrived early in the morning. I saw some of the kids that they started bowling at 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. They bowled two squats, then they bowled the eliminator thing. Then the lanes were open with music and disco lights, and they were bowling. And when I arrived this morning, about quarter to 9, they were already getting ready to bowl again. So I was like, "Did you guys sleep in the bowling alley? Did you just sit down on one of the sofas?" And yeah, but I miss that. Being young and having so much energy, that was so much fun. But thanks for asking. Maybe I should download again that Barcelona by Freddie Mercury and just go on with it on the Sunday event. Okay, let's focus again on scoring. We are on more or less frame 4 for everybody on this fifth game. We see some striking. I can see some striking. Matisse started with open frame, but then he made a triple. Robin Persson on the same pair, both of them on 13 and 14. Robin's got the spare and a full bagger. On that same camera, on lane 15 and 16, we find Yannick Ross, and also from United States. He's 15 over at the moment. He's got a double spare strike. Let's see who else is doing okay. We have on the cameras on lanes 17, 18, 19, and 20. Those are tricky pairs usually. We find Dominic Barrett on 17 with an open frame, spare, strike, and 9. Bowling on the same pair, we find Gary Haynes, Pauline Joly from France, and Jeff Reasons. Then on the right pair, they have Eric Jones, Anton Andersson, Nela Kapilova, and Mikkel Gottfries. They have some striking over there, a double, and a triple. Anton Andersson has not doubled yet, but he hasn't made any open frame either. And now if I look at the other side of the alley on lane 1 and 2, we find Carl Eklund and Emma Haltonen, Andre Prekop. On that same camera, on that same channel, we find Nora Johansson on lane 3 and 4, Justin Knowles and Trevor Roberts. So this camera is full of talent. It's very good bowlers in there, but it's many open frames in there as well. So as I've been saying all morning, it's a very, very demanding pattern. You need to stay focused. You cannot really give up, not for more than 10, 20 seconds, otherwise it's very expensive. Cameras on lanes 5, 6, 7, 8. We find who's bowling over there. We have Martin Paulson and Antonio Fiorentino. Ethan Fury is also on that pair now. He started with the triple, but then open frame, 9 spare, 9 spare. If we move a little bit more to the right on 9, 10, 11, 12, we find Nathan, Kilian Johnson. And, oh, it's a little bit far on the screen. We find Ernesto Reynoso also on 11 and 12. Where was Ernesto? Yeah, Ernesto was with 43 over. Now he's got, oh my, that's very tough to see. That's very unlucky. He was pairing the 4-7 and he chopped the 4 pin. That is not easy to do. That is not easy to see, and it's quite annoying. It has happened to me a few times in my career, and I didn't break the shirts. I didn't rip them off, but let me tell you, I wasn't pleased at all. And it can be expensive for Ernesto because he's already on the 5th frame. He has not made a double yet, so this puts him on 12 under on this moment on this game. And since he was sitting with 43 over, we could say he at least needs to shoot 480 on these last 2 games in order to put himself up there in the comfortable spot inside the final and inside the cut. We have some more people talking. Mike Hammond, 2:08 a.m. That's not sure. I'm gonna say it's too late or too early, but I'm glad you are here watching. So welcome into the channel. I hope I don't make you fall asleep by talking too much. There's a lot of action going on, so just pay attention to some of the cameras. If you feel I'm talking too much, just put on some music. Drop down my voice and just look at the action and skip me. Back to business. Lanes 13 and 14. Matisse Blanchette trying to fight his way back into the squad after a 169 game, sitting with 72 over. He started with 7 and 2, but now it's a 5-bagger. So it looks like he's finding something that's working better for him. And 11 and 12, where I see Ernesto, I just noticed he made every single shot on lane 11 was a strike. He seems to have some issues with lane 12. On lane 12, he's got 9 spare, 7 spare, 8 and 1, as I said. Very unlucky spare. He chopped the 4 on the 4-7. It's not that he was going back up, he just threw it with the spare ball. So it's just a matter of luck. This one really was a matter of luck. He was pretty unlucky over there. So let's see what he can manage to do on lane 12. See if he can really find a way to perform on that one. The good news for him is he's striking on the left lane, which is going to be the 10th frame for him. So at least if he manages to strike once on 12, that could mean he could at least do a triple. Yeah, the lanes are really burning quickly. We can see people moving deeper and deeper. Matisse Blanchette, he just left the 4-6-7. It looks like as soon as you miss a little bit in, it doesn't really hold at all. And you definitely don't want to miss out, because when you miss out, then you can take the 3 pins on the corner. Quite demanding, quite demanding. I'm not going to get tired of saying what I see, and from a perspective of not really so much as a bowler anymore, but as a coach, and doing the commentary. Since I see every single squad, I'm still surprised that there are a lot of people using pretty strong material, pretty strong cover stocks and cores, and that isn't helping at all, because once the lane is pretty burned, you want to have something in your hands that can really cross the heads. And usually we could manage by throwing it a little bit harder, but it's not such a big room around you, not such a big room around your target. So you need to take in consideration that you really need to be consistent on your targeting. So it's quite messy. It's quite difficult. You need to decide: am I gonna go harder? Am I gonna go softer? Am I gonna go deeper? Am I gonna fly the ball? Am I gonna just let it through? Not easy. Not easy. Now Ernesto is getting a little bit impatient. I can understand that. As I said, he's been striking every single frame on 11, but he's not finding what to do on 12. The previous shot, it was the 4-7, so I'm guessing it was a little bit deep in the pocket. He probably adjusted a little bit. Now this one was a little bit short in the pocket, so he left the 2-8. Once again, he couldn't double. Nathan is doing quite good on this game on 9 and 10. He's got the triple, 9 spur, 9 spur, and another triple. It looks like at the moment he's the only one with a real chance to overcome the score of the turbo. Not by much. He needs to strike out completely for a 268, but that would be enough to beat the score that Kyle Trapp has at the moment at the turbo with a 267. So we have more people coming in. Stepan Blasiska, nice to see you here, buddy. Have a good day. And I'm gonna remind you just one more time. I don't want to be annoying, but it's important for and very beneficial for the sport. Please subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you just click the button and you subscribe to our channel. It's 100% for free. And the main reason we ask you to do that is because then the algorithm, it's gonna keep it free. It's gonna keep it out of any monthly payments and stuff like that, so you can keep watching the best bowling in the world online from any place in the planet, anywhere you are. You're gonna keep on seeing the best action at no cost. So be sure make sure to support us by subscribing and telling if you have some friends that really like to watch bowling. They are in love with the game. They want to learn. They want to hear some of their idols talking. We're gonna keep on bringing superstars into the booth. We're gonna keep on asking some of the PBA bowlers to join us from time to time and let us know what they see, what they felt during the squats. We are putting a lot of content in the social media as well. We are doing short interviews after each squat with the squat leader, and we have done also a few interviews with some of the PBA guys, even if they have not led the squat. It's interesting to talk to them and see how they feel, what's their experience on the lanes and off the lanes. Now, let's go back to business. Let's see who's doing okay. Nathan, still alive. He made the 4th one, so it's a triple, 9 spur, 9 spur, and 4 in a row. He's gonna pretty soon shoot 10th frame. If he manages to strike out, he's gonna make a 268 game, which is gonna put him on the leader of the turbos for game 5. And on the top of that, if he shots 268, he already has 41 over, so that would put him with 109 pins over and 1 game to go. So 6th game would become quite important for him. If he managed to do probably to 20 something, he would most probably find himself in the final on step 1. Yeah, Matisse is fighting his way. He's moved a lot deeper. We have been seeing him doing that pretty much on every squatty bowl. He's got a lot of power. He's got a lot of hand. He can really bowl above the left gutter. But he has not been very lucky on the last 2 shots on lane 13. He's got 2 splits after a 5 bagger. That's gonna now drop him down. If he takes two, it's going to be exactly 180 on the ninth frame, so he will need a triple to make 210. That was a little bit of anger coming out on that spare shot. Another bowler was doing pretty good at the beginning. It was Dominic Barrett, but as we said at the beginning of the game, per 17 and 18, it's sometimes a little bit tough, and Dominic is going to have a game of 160, so that's going to drop him quite many pins down. It's not going to be the squad in which he's going to manage to go in. Our current leader, Ethan Fury, who was at 132 over, very steady, very steady. Strike, spare, spare, double, spare, double, split, spare, and double again on the 10th frame. Oh, sorry, I was reading Antonio Fiorentino's. Ethan is on the other side. He's got a triple, split, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, 9 spare, and a double. So he's going to manage to make 210 to keep increasing that score pace he has. He's going to go all the way up to 1140 after 5. That means he needs a 250 game on the last squad to score higher than he did yesterday. Not easy, not easy. We can see people is really struggling. You can especially see on their body language it's not becoming an easy walk in the park. They are really struggling with lanes. People moving deeper and deeper, trying to find some last drops of oil on the lanes, and yeah, we see very talented kids that are suffering a lot. So it has nothing to do with technique. In terms of technique, I would say 80% of the field is superb. In terms of knowledge, there we could discuss a little bit more. I believe the older bowlers have a little bit of better understanding of what goes on the lanes due to the cause that we have been bowling in many different types of patterns. Back in the day, when we bowled with wooden lanes, topography was always an issue. The oil machines, well, when they started being oil machines, I remember when I was a kid, even before I bowled, when I was just in the bowling alley watching my parents bowl, they used the oil by hand. So the evolution of the game has been pretty big from on the last 40 years. We went from wooden lanes to synthetic lanes. Then we started to have these reactive resin bowls that hooked a lot more than anything we had in the back before. All these changes on the bowling balls becoming stronger and stronger has forced the oil factories to do also thicker oils and oils that can remain a little longer. So now it's like a circle that no one can escape. You put more oil on the lane or thicker oil on the lane, I'm going to release an even more tackier ball, a more creepy cover stock. And then it comes all the way around. Oh, so you made a ball that's going to hook even more, and it's going to creep even more. Okay, then we're going to make even a thicker oil. So really what's happening now that the lanes change so much quicker than they used to change back in the day. I remember 25, 30 years ago, you would find your spot on the approach and on the target on the arrows, and perhaps after 6 games, maybe you moved your feet seven boards to the left, and you probably moved your target like 3 or 4 boards inside. There are some events where already in the warm-up you have moved those 7 boards left and 3 or 4 on the target. Things are happening a lot quicker. Lanes are drying up a lot quicker than they used to, and that forces you to be really awake. Otherwise, it's impossible. All right. Nathan managed to shoot 268 because he was with a score of 841. And now I see on his score is 1109. So that means he shot 268. He's going to be the new leader on the turbo on game 5. That's already good news for him. And on the top of that, he still has one game to go. And since the cut is not so high, if he remains in that positive uh, moment and that kind of strong performance, let's say he makes another 230 game or 240, that's going to put him already directly into inside the cut. So we will refresh the scores in about a minute and a half or so. There's Ernesto was just ending his game. He made a triple on the left lane. He made a lot of strikes on lane 11. He had a lot of issues on lane 12. So he managed to save a 191. Is 34 over at the moment. Matisse Blanchette 76 over. Robin Persson, I did not see Robin on that previous game. He had 24 over and now he's sitting with 61 over, so he shot 220 something. Not bad, that's a good effort. Dominic Barrett, unfortunately, it dropped down to just 6 over. Antonio Fiorentino is 49 over. So the top highest scores is going to be again Ethan Fury, and Nathan is also with 109 over. Invisible Man. So we're starting the 6th game of this first squad of the day. It's going to be a long day in the office. 3 more squads to go after this one. We're going to spend a lot of hours in the bowling alley today, and we are hoping that you guys are going to be a good company for us during the day. Feel free to go grab some coffee, maybe some popcorn and a sandwich, but do not leave us. It's a lot of action yet still to come. We still have this one last game to see who goes on into the final, see if someone else finds a way to make a very high last game and become the new turbo. And I will try to keep you updated with all the scoring pretty soon. Just give us a couple of minutes. Okay, for example, it's interesting things to see. Dominic Barrett on lanes 13 and 14. I don't know for how long is he going to try what he just tried. I just saw him bowling quite far to the right, so bowling quite outside. He's probably trying to stay far away from the traffic. He started pretty high with games of 247 and 217, but the last 2 games have dropped down drastically, 182, 155. So obviously, since the score is not working for him anymore, he's starting to try different things, starting to try different lines, trying to find maybe a different solution from what he has been doing. So if you're curious about it, Tom is going to bowl on lane 13 and 14. On that same pair is a few bowlers that are interesting to watch. We have Ernesto Reynoso. We have Anton Anderson with 20 over also. So let's see. We have to let Enric make a shot first, and then we're going to pay attention to see what Dominic is doing on. Yeah, it's somewhere around the board number 7, but the ball went directly into the Brooklyn. So pretty much it proves what I was telling you guys a little bit earlier. It looks like outside it's definitely not an option. You miss a little bit in, you're gonna hit all the traffic that has been bowling inside of you. So it's not gonna hold at all. And if you miss outside, you're gonna find the tricky areas, the penalty zones. Call it however you want, but it's not gonna work either. The ball's gonna go far into the corner. So to bowl outside, you really need to be Superman and super accurate and not easy. I believe not many bowlers can do that accurate nowadays. Game has changed a lot, not because they are not talented, but it's not one of the things you need that often anymore. Stefan Blaska, he says, I'm waiting for the Czech bowling star, Lucas Jelinek. I really don't know when Lucas is showing up. I'm not sure when which squad is he gonna bowl. I suppose he's gonna be here. That's pretty much for sure. Uh, we are trying to find him. Yeah, he's gonna bowl now, 1 o'clock. So that's next squad, and then he's gonna bowl tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then Saturday, 8 p.m., 8 in the evening. So if you had no idea when he was bowling, now you just know. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer just to squad number 2, but then you can see your Czech star Lucas Jelinek. I hope I said that right. It's not easy to try to pronounce names from other nationalities. Sometimes it's not even easy to say my own name. I've been called so many different ways. Marilyn was the last one, that's true. But some people call me Louis, some people call me Louis, some people call me Luis with an S. So you just have to deal with whatever you can. But I did my best, I promise you. Now, let's start to see. For the turbo, we need at least 267 to overcome the score, which is the top at the moment on game 6. Not many, not many. Okay, lane 1, 2, 3, 4, nobody can do it. Lane 3 and 4, actually Martin Paulson still has a chance. 5 and 6, Andre, if he strikes out, he can do it. On 7, 8, we have Justin Knowles with front 2. He's still alive. 9 and 10, Matisse Blanchette, front 3, so he's also alive and he also has a chance. Philippe Witton on 11, 12. He's got the front 2, so he's got a chance as well. And everyone else, not many. Yeah, hold on. Lane 17, Essi Pakarinen from Finland. He's got a spare. He or she, I don't know. Finnish names are very. Yeah, I was right. It's a she. She's got the spare and a double, so she also has an option. And finally on 19 and 20, Nora Johansson, she's got the open frame, but 2 strikes. So if she would strike out, that would be 278. So she would be also in a position to manage to do more than 267. When is Jasper and Martin trying again? To be honest, I have no clue. My tech guy just went away, but let me try to grab the mouse, see if I can find out. Give me a second and I will try to let you know as sooner as possible. Player list over here. You said Martin Larsen, so let's see. Oh, not here. L. Not there yet. Give me a second. I'm trying to find out. I have a friend over here is asking me when is Jasper and Martin going to bowl again.
Martin's not bowling anymore.
Martin is not bowling anymore, Per. I'm sorry. Squads are pretty full, so Martin is letting people bowl. And Jasper, we will let you know pretty soon. Hoppas alle bra med dig, Per. It's good to know from you. I'm sending you a big squad. Jesper is bowling next squad. Okay, cool. So Jesper is gonna bowl at 1 o'clock today. He's gonna join Lucas Jelinek from the Czech Republic. They were also asking about him, see when he was going to bowl next. So both of them are gonna be going on 1 o'clock in the next squad. So just a reminder, Nathan just managed to overcome what was the best score on game 5 for the Turbo. Now he's the new leader on the Turbo on game 5 with 268. And he is also sitting with 109 over after 5. So it gives him a chance to find his way into the final if he manages to do maybe a 230 game. Let me try to find him. Yeah, he's not happy, not a nice body language. He's bowling on lanes 5 and 6. He's yet to strike. He's got the 9 spare, 8-1, 9 spare, 9 spare, 7. He has the 3, 6, 10 on the lane standing, which tells me that probably this pair is quite burned at the moment. It's telling me that he probably needs to move even deeper and see if he can manage to survive that traffic. Well, at least he saved the spur. So he's sitting with 83 on frame 5. He's going away from his spur. So I believe he's going to pick up a different ball in the back, unless he's going to kick somebody. No, I think Nathan is probably going to see if he has something in the back that's going to help him overcome whatever he has found on that particular pair. Nora still alive on 19 and 20. She can still manage if she strikes out, as I said before. She can manage to go all the way to 278, so we're going to keep an eye on her. She's bowling really deep inside, somewhere around 27 in the arrows. Oh, that's a very, very, very bad pinfall. The ball was a little bit short in the pocket, but you don't see so many times the 8-10 standing after a light pocket, especially now when you have the amount of reps and power she has. Definitely not a lucky shot. Now, we had somebody with a few strikes going on. I think it's on lane Eric Jones strike, spare, and a triple, but I see someone with a front 4 or front 5. There in the middle, I think it's 9 and 10. Maybe I'm too blind. Yeah, exactly, Matisse. And Matisse is still up there. He's 76 over. So if he can make a high game, that would maybe give him a spot into the final. He's going for 2 different options. He can do it through the turbo. He could do it by scoring. I mean, if he gets the score for the turbo after 70 something over, and he shots to 70, that's going to put him with 140 something over. That should be enough to get into the final. Really deep inside, somewhere around 27 on the arrows, and he really can bowl when he gets deep inside, yeah. Right beside him, the French guy. Again, he missed a little bit out, took the 3 in the corner. Very demanding. We were just talking about it. As soon as you miss a little bit out, the ball doesn't make it back. As soon as you miss a little bit in, it doesn't really hold. A very demanding pattern. You really need to be consistent, you really need to be accurate, and you really, really, really need to be patient. Now, Stefan says this pattern isn't very friendly for left-handers. Well, if you find any right-hander who finds it friendly, let me know. I think it's not friendly for anybody. Not left-handers, not right-handers. Some people said maybe when the lanes are moving so deep, that's going to affect the left-handers. I don't really think that's the case. It simply is no room on any on the sides. It's no room to the corners. It's no room to the inside. Uh, I wouldn't mind being a lefty on the pattern either, also because then it's a little bit of less traffic actually than you have on the right side. But I'm not a lefty, so I couldn't really tell you 100%. That's just the way I see it. I believe obviously there's a lot of patterns out there and a lot of conditions that are very friendly to left-handers. This one, I believe, is not friendly for left-handers or right-handers, one-handed or two-handed. It's simply not a friendly pattern. So we will make sure to tell Christian Jonas we find this pattern not so friendly. Okay, Matisse Blanchette, front five. He's still alive to get some scoring. On that same camera, if you want to look at that channel, we have Ethan Fury bowling on 11 and 12. Ethan is always in front of the ball return. That looked pretty good. A little bit more aggressive than he was doing yesterday. A little bit more aggressive. A little bit more of room to the outside than he had on some previous games, or at least slightly different approach from what he had been doing on the previous games and the previous squads. Is a little bit less tight and shoulders a little bit less tight and angle than that we saw him yesterday. But it could be, since it's game number 6, this is the pair of lanes where he was doing the warm-up, so it could be that they have left some extra area on the outside, maybe even further outside, and maybe that's why he can open up the ball a little bit more. But now I'm just guessing. It's too many people to really see what they do. I usually try to pay some attention during the warm-up out there in the lanes because you can see things better than you can see on a TV screen. But I'm just taking an educated guess. I cannot put my hand in the fire for that. Now we have another comment says you also have right-handers chucking plastic all over the left side for spares. Yeah, I agree with you, but then on the other hand, uh, in this pattern, I think unless they are really sparing the 7 pin, if they are sparing like the 2 pin or the 5 pin, they just making the oil a little bit longer around board 20, let's say 25 as a right-hander, 15 as a left-hander. So it would actually should create a little bit more of room to the right side for those lefties. But that's how I see it. I mean, I could be wrong. Per Kremlin says looks like the ideal line is lofting to the arrows from the left side for right-handed. The line, yes. The lofting, I don't agree. So far, what we have seen is a big amount of bowlers trying to do the loft and not succeeding. The only one who really managed to do that properly, it was Nate Purchase. Everyone else who really managed to score high, it was by letting the ball slide through the front. So it was not a stronger wrist. It was not flying the ball 30 feet down the lane. On the contrary, it was by doing it smoother, by letting the ball slide on the lane, having a weaker hand position, and trying to let the ball slide through the front instead of forcing it to slide to the front. Per, since you're watching, you can see, for example, on lane 17 and 18, you can find Carl. You know Carl pretty well, Carl Eklund, super talented. He's trying to go very strong. He's trying to put the ball somewhere down there on a few feet deeper, but it's definitely not working for him. I've been talking to Carl a little bit these last couple of days. I told him he should drill a couple of different balls from what he has brought down here. I think his balls are a little bit too strong, both in the cover and both in the core. Actually, I think it was 3 days ago. He was bowling the last squat in the night. He had like 5 splits in 6 frames. So I went to talk to him. I said, "Why don't you grab the highest RG ball in your bags?" He did that, and then he made quite a few amount of strikes. The ball was working a lot easier for him, but yeah, it's not very easy. Uh, let's see. Ethan is doing short 3-5 feet lofting at the moment. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looks like Ethan is trying different things. When I interviewed him, I believe it was yesterday. Excuse me, because I've been doing so many interviews and so many squads that I start messing with the dates. I believe it was yesterday that he shot pretty good. He arrived 2 days ago. Started bowling straight from the airplane, pretty much. Not very rested, a little bit dehydrated. He was doing some lofting and so, but it didn't really work well for him. So he decided to do something different on day 2. It paid out really, really well. But it was not lofting at all yesterday. Today, since he already has the score, uh, he could be trying something slightly different. Per, if you saw what I said, Carl lofting the ball crazy on lane 17 and 18, not working at all. He's got only 1 strike in 9 frames. Probably is a little bit of anger and not a very positive mind approach. But Carl is super talented. He's a good friend, so I believe he's gonna find a solution sooner rather than later. Let's see what you're telling me. It's really a worthy technique to master as a professional. Length of 3, 5, 7 feet of lofting consistently. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, every single tool you can add into your arsenal, and I'm not talking about bowling balls. I'm talking about things you can do with your bowling ball. If you can manipulate your hand position and you can change from forward roll to side roll, if you can increase or decrease your speed, all this kind of extra things you manage to do with your technique, it's always helpful. So if you become a little bit more able to do different things, you have the chance to succeed in quite different conditions. Okay, let's focus again on scoring. Let's find the leaders. It was Ethan Fury with 142 over. Ethan is now having a spare double open frame and full bagger, so it's going to be a high game for him. He still have a chance to overcome his yesterday's scores. Matisse Blanchette, he started with, let me count, the front 7, then a 7 spare. So if he strikes out, it's going to be a 277. That would be the new highest turbo series or higher turbo game on game 6. That would guarantee for him a spot in the final. Nathan from Canada, he was doing very well after games of 239 to 60, 268 on game 4 and 5. He was sitting with 109 over, but the pair 5 and 6, they really got into him. He only had 2 strikes on this game and a couple of open frames, so he's looking to spare the 10 pin to shoot 170. Yes, he takes a spare, so he's going to shoot 170. That's going to drop his score down to 1280-ish, more or less, 1279, 1280. That, I believe, won't be enough to make the cut. It will at the moment, but not by Sunday. We still have quite many few squats to be bowled. But I remind you, he just shot 268 on the previous game, and that already gives him the lead on the turbo. So maybe he could be lucky enough to make it into the final. So what we're going to do now is focus on Ethan Fury and Mathis Blanchet to see how they end their games. Okay, another spare for Mathis on frame number 9. So if he makes a turkey, it's going to go all the way to 260 something. And Ethan Fury is about to make the 10th frame. He can go all the way to 252. That's 90 pins to go on his scoring, which shows now 1304. So if he strikes out, he's going to make even more pins than he did yesterday. He would go all the way up to 1394. As soon as we are done with Mathis Blanchet and Ethan Fury, we will stop the commentary until we begin again with the next squad, because I'm going to have to go out there and interview Ethan once more. So I'm going to make sure to ask him exactly why he was approaching things a little bit different. Was he trying different things, or was it the lanes that looked and played a little bit different than on his previous squad? We will find out pretty soon. Okay, let's see. Mathis Blanchet, 10th frame. Up to go, Ethan Fury, 10th frame, he got the strike. He has to make one more to make an even higher score that he was having. He's going to go all the way to 1390. Yet not an 1400 squad. It's not easy. It's not really happening. And we had, I think it was one of the first times we had somebody shooting 700 on the first 3 games. But then it wasn't. Okay, another strike for Ethan Fury, so he's gonna go all the way to 1394. If he strikes one more, he's gonna put there 15 pins more than he had in the squad, which was already his highest squad and highest of the event. He was the leader of the event already. He's gonna remain as the leader of the event. And yeah, this kid can really bowl. Last shot for Ethan. 9 pins, so 251 and 1393. Games of 207, 214, 267, 244, 210, 251. So I guess the main thing is he had no games below 210. Yeah, this kid is super talented. He can really bowl. He does things so good. It's nice to witness. Mathis Blanchet working on a double, a very nice double for him. He's going to be very happy he got that one. It's actually going to be important. Not going to make it for the turbo because of the pin counts. He's going to shoot 265 if he strikes one more. But it's going to put him on the 1340s. And if I am wrong, and the cut is not 1350, but it goes a little bit lower, like the Swedish coach said, about 1330, so it could be enough to make it into the final. Very nice final shot, 1341 for Mathis Blanchet, 265 to end. We'll be right back with the second squad. Thank you everybody who's been paying attention, has been watching with us. Make sure to subscribe onto our channel if you haven't done it yet. And we'll be back pretty soon with more action, more bowling. Here from Helsingborg, Sweden, Olympia Bowling and Storm Lucky Larsen Masters. Good morning, everybody.